Hello folks, welcome back, it's Lindsay. It is February 6th, 2020, which means it is the perfect time to tell you about my favorite albums of 2019, yay! Yeah, I mentioned I'm like behind on everything, right? Well, I'm trying to catch up. So I think today I'm going to be talking to you about my top 7 albums of the year. That feels like a very arbitrary number, but I wanted to be fair and talk about the albums that I feel like I've actually listened to enough to fairly talk about. I had like a top 20, but I'm definitely the kind of person, I'll hear an album, fall in love with it, and listen to nothing else for like a month straight. So it makes more sense to talk about like my favorites of the year. So number 7 is Carousel Kings Plus Ultra. I first heard of Carousel Kings when their debut album from Victory Records came out in February of 2017 called Charm City. That was one of my top albums that year. They had a song called Grey Goose, I think was the one that really pulled me in. So their new album that came out in 2019, Plus Ultra. Yeah, so basically they're just a lot of fun. I really like them. Just in general, check out Carousel Kings. I recommend. Number 6 kind of feels a little blasphemous to say in a way, but I felt the same about their last album too. Blink-182's 9. I feel like it's a weird thing to say that I like Blink-182 post what's his face? I don't even remember his name anymore. The UFO guy. Did he get kicked out of the band? Did he just leave the band to go chase UFOs? I don't really know. But now they've got the guy from Alkaline Trio instead. And I really like their music. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's really good.
Another day you don't feel the same. And I don't have the strength to stay. I wait and 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 I wait for her.
Number 5 is Swimmers, Berkeley's on Fire. So I met the boys for the first official time, I guess, at Rough Trade in Brooklyn. It's a record store / venue. I think it was the release day. It might have actually been on release day, or it was like very close to it. So I bought the CD. I don't really buy physical CDs as much anymore as I used to. Sorry, millennial. Spotify. I hate Spotify. Side note, I really hate Spotify because I know artists get like 1/32 of a penny per play. So like you have to play 32 songs just for them to get a penny. That's ridiculous. Anyway, that's a completely other vlog. Yeah, so I actually bought the CD and got it signed, and I told them that I had just moved to New York from Oakland and that I used to see them all the time back in Oakland. They probably didn't realize how old I am, that I'm actually a Green Day fan, and I've just been like supporting them since they were children, and I still think of them as children, but I love them and I'm proud of them, and I think their music is actually really kick-ass. My favorite songs on this album were Steve Got Robbed. And Hellboy. Number 4 is Dollskin's Love is Dead and We Killed Her. First of all, that's like the greatest album title ever. Like, if I'd never heard of Dollskin, I would listen to it just because of that title. Like, that's brilliant. Can you tell I don't like love? Happy Valentine's Day, folks. Yeah, but I had heard of Dollskin. I love them. Are they still teenagers? They might still be teenagers. They were girls that were discovered while playing like a talent show in high school. So like they were under 18, getting discovered, getting signed. They're a punk band, and they're really, really good. So my favorite of their songs is called Daughter. I'm obsessed with it. My favorite from this album, Love is Dead, is probably... And the video is super witchy, and I love it, and just so much fun. So you may have noticed that I have changed clothes. It is another day. It is now February 17th, 2020, so I'm even more belated at finishing this list. But I'm back to finish with my top 3 of 2019. Number 3 is Sleep on It's Pride and Disaster. I love Sleep on It. They're just super good current pop punk, but they sound like pop punk that would have been around in like the early mid 2000s, which is like my shit. So I'm all about it. I think my favorite of their music was actually probably their first like official EP. Like I had heard one of their songs, I think it's called Burning at Both Ends, before that first EP, like Signed, even came out. What was that called? We are Googling, we are looking this up. Albums. Lost Along the Way. That came out in 2016. I think that was when I like first really started listening to them, and I was like, oh my god, they're so good. And then in 2017 was their first full-length, Overexposed, which was just like amazing. That was in my top 5 that year. And then Pride and Disaster would be my number 3. So I saw them live. It was the day after my birthday or the day before my birthday. I can't remember, but that was like the show I went to on my birthday. They were opening for Don Broco, who I'm also obsessed with.
Pretty hard on it, 8 days a week, causing enough fuss in the big city. 8 days a week, 8 days a week, sucker, 8 days a week. 8 days a week, sucker, 8 days a week.
Don Broco is so good. They didn't have an album this year, so I can't think this year. They didn't have an album in 2019, so I can't include them on my list. But I 100% recommend Don Broco. But we're talking about we are talking about Sleep on It. So Sleep on It opened for Don Broco's tour. And the day Pride and Disaster came out was the day they played Gramercy Theater in New York. So I hadn't listened to the album yet when I saw them play those songs live, but obviously I listened to it since then. I'm like, oh my god, it's good.
Take my hand, pull me again from under the moment. Take my hand, I'm hopeless again, caught under the moment. But I promise I won't drag you down. I know that I've said this before, and I can't bear the thought anymore. Killing time justifying my lies, but I swear this time I won't.
so good. I love them. Number 2, guys, we're getting real here. So my number 2 of 2019 is the Menzingers, Hello Exile. I love the Menzingers. Oh my god. So the Menzingers, After the Party, came out in 2017, and that was the first time I'd really listened to them. Like, I'd heard of the Menzingers, obviously. They're pretty big in, like, the, I guess, punk scene, which is, I don't know, if they're not, like, fast punk. They're more kind of, like, chill punk, but I don't know. I'm not good with genres at all. But anyway, I definitely heard of them. So when After the Party came out in 2017, I was like, okay, so I got to check this one out. And absolutely fell in love with it. I think it was in my top 10 that year, but looking back, it probably could have been like top 3, top 2. Like, it's such a good album, and it still holds up, and it is still like one of my favorite albums. Oh my god. Oh my god. So 2019, Hello Exile came out, and I don't think it's reached After the Party level for me yet, but I'm also kind of biased because After the Party was like the first album I heard from them, and I still remember like driving through San Francisco. I was an Uber driver, so that was when I was listening to most of my music back then. Like, I don't know, I hear songs from After the Party, and it takes me back to being on the road in San Francisco, and that's such a weird thing, but yeah, so that's still like, I love it. I love it. But Hello Exile is also like amazing, and I'm sure it's going to be the same thing in a couple of years. I'm going to look back and be like, oh my god, this was like the best album. Why didn't I like give this higher rank? But it's already like, it's my number 2. It's really, really good. I love the Menzingers. From our sponsors, Coca-Cola. No, this is not an ad. I'm not getting paid for this shit at all, but I love me some vanilla Coke. I'm making you wait for number 1. Number 1! Zebrahead. Brain Invaders. So, okay. Zebrahead used to tour backwards. So one of my all-time favorite bands, The Matches, used to open for Zebrahead back in the day, like early 2000s. I want to say like 2004 or something ridiculous. I don't know. And like I've loved The Matches, like love The Matches. And so I've always like known of Zebrahead. Like I've got a DVD of like, I think it's called The Show Must Go Off, and it's like a recorded Matches concert, and the whole time they're like thanking Zebrahead for taking them on tour. I never listened to them. I never gave them a chance. I feel like had I listened to them back then, I would have loved them, and I should have given them a chance, and I know I should have given them a chance, like given how close they were with like one of my all-time favorite bands. But it wasn't until Brain Invaders came out in 2019. You hear that? Those are my neighbors. Okay, so I think I had mentioned earlier that I'm the kind of person I will listen to an album, fall in love with it, and not listen to anything else for like months after that. For me in 2019, that was Zebrahead. So I heard Brain Invaders and was like blown away. I was like, this is so good. Like they're so good. They're so fun. There's like, it's rock, and then there's kind of some like rappy hip hop bits in it. It's done like very uniquely. I know Linkin Park kind of does that, but this is different, and it's a lot of fun, and it's super dancey, and I was just like, oh my god, they could have been my favorite band for like 15 years, and what's wrong with me? Why am I just now listening to this? So I went on a huge Zebrahead binge and listened to them for a good like 2 months straight, and nothing else, and I fell so in love with their whole discography. Oh my god. Walk the Plank. And Call All Your Friends. I think that's the name of the album. Those are like my two favorite albums now. So good, so good, so good. I'm just gonna like go rock out. Okay, this is about 2019. Brain Invaders. Brain Invaders was the album that got me into Zebrahead. So we're gonna play some songs from Brain Invaders for ya.
After all is said, and after all is done, we're staring down the barrel of a gun. Just because we're wrong, it'll make you cry. They always lie through their teeth with no end in sight. We're the vagrants, movers, and the shakers. We're locked and loaded, so shake your money maker. We're not alright, we're not alright. Collision course set, got the world in our sights. We're not alright, we're not alright. Final destination, gonna make it tonight. We're falling down, we're falling. We're not alright, we're not alright. All the lost souls of the world unite. Still in the fight.
So there you go. Those were my favorite albums of 2019. Check them out. I hope you like them as much as I do. Let me know what some of your favorite albums of last year were that I might have missed, and let me know what you're enjoying this year that I should check out. Bye, guys.